Hey, what's poppin', man? It's your boy Big South, and I'm humbled to have a great friend of mine, man. A beautiful soul, just a guy who's always been driven, warrior spirit. Um, Not just his comedic talents are amazing, and he's just at his genesis of that, but he's also just one of the best people I ever met in my life, and a great friend, man. Donald for show, Martin. How you doing, family?
Man, I'm doing great, man. You said Genesis, man. You got some deep vocabulary. Most folks say beginning. You said Genesis. Boy, you done went to the Bible, man. I tell you, man. You about to, I'm good, man. Good. First of all, it's an honor to be with you, man. We go way back, man. When the chosen
Yes,
one,
sir.
we met based on the chosen one. If y'all don't know who the chosen one, about 4 years, 3 to 4 years, you're gonna know who I'm talking about. And he's his daddy is a great man. So I'm honored to be here, bro. We man, thank you. That's all I want to say. Thank you.
Thank you, and I appreciate all that, man. For me, on behalf of JJ, the Loud family, that's 100. To hear that coming out from somebody that's respected like you, that's gonna last forever. So let's go before I even get into the breakdown how we met, all the amazing things about your life. Let's talk about the farewell show and you moving to Atlanta, the dates of the farewell show, and then I'll go from there. Let's talk about what's coming up immediately for you.
So August 21st, which means we got 18 days having a farewell show. How that began is in March 1st of this year, I resigned from a six-figure job to jump scared. And I've been in Indianapolis. I've been doing comedy for 20 years. And the last show I did, April 24th, I brought David Mann, aka Mr. Brown, in. And I looked at the crowd and I was like, my job is done here in the city of Indianapolis. So I knew that being a big fish in a small pond, then I said, I got to be a whale in the big ocean. And so I
Mm.
decided that it was between Palmdale, California, it was between Houston, Texas, and it was between Atlanta. And really, I just prayed about it and I was like, Atlanta was on my radar. And so August 21st, Martin University. What's important about Martin University is it's the only predominantly black institution in the state of Indiana. It's not an HBCU because when it was created in the 70s, so it didn't qualify for the HBCU. But I'm in uh, connections with them. So we're going to have it on August 21st. That is a Sunday. Doors open at 5 p.m. Show starts at 6 p.m. I got a gentleman coming in from my feature. Mike McDaniels is from Detroit, Michigan. I got two guys here, Dwayne Cobb and Sweaty Hands from here, Indianapolis, and then Demond Cherry, my host. He is from Columbus, Indiana. Then I got various artists that will be there. And so we're just going to have a good time. It's a farewell. And we're just going to send me off to Atlanta so I can do what I do when I do it.
Hey, that's amazing, man. And congratulations on that. Like just having the aspiration to be like, you know what, I got to keep growing. Like just not having that fear. Like I had that too. Like I only get one life, and it's my express lane, and I gotta punch it.
You got to be
I gotta
fearless.
punch it.
You got to be fearless because I come from a generation of poverty, man. I mean, when I'm making six figures, almost $200,000 a year, so it didn't even really logically, it didn't even make sense for me to leave. But I knew
Yeah.
in order for me to know my potential and who I really am, I had to jump scared. I had to do what's best for me, like you just said. You only get one life, man. And if we really be honest, if we went to a nursing home and you asked most of the people in the nursing home, did you really pursue your passion? I guarantee you about 70% of them would be like, nah, I wish I would have done this. I wish I would have done this. I wish I would have done this.
For
But
sure.
you and I can, you know,
Yes,
that's
sir.
the nature of
Yes,
the beast.
sir. And we continue the legacy and the spirit of our ancestors.
Right. Amen. And that's what it's about, man. We standing on the shoulders of our ancestors. And if they can make it through the things that they made it through, man, come on, man. Ain't nothing we can
Right.
do. We actually it's nothing we cannot do. No one can stop us, man. No one. No one. Only one can stop us is us. No, not because of the color of our skin, not because they hating on us. It don't even matter, man. They part of the plan. That's all they are. Part of the plan. That's why I don't trip off
Well
of
said.
haters. I don't trip off of haters, bro. What I do is they just don't, you know, it ain't even no haters. They just don't understand, because if you get to know me, you're gonna know, man, this dude is powerful. Same with you. They don't understand you, bro, because they hating on you, but they really don't understand how genuine and nice and how goal oriented you are. You just ain't about no BS, man. You're about grinding and making things happen, and you're
That's
doing
it.
it every day.
Thank you, man. And likewise, and it's like for a long time I was, I'd be tormented by that because like if you know me, bro, all I ever do is give up flowers to
Yeah.
anybody, bro, like kids, families, and it's like I never understood, why people had like certain shit going on with me, and I'm like, damn, bro, you just don't know. I'm that soldier. I give you my everything. But it was just like it was something in me, and then it make me react. And they like, oh, look at me. He like, well, look at all the cuts and the stabs I take in the dark, bro. I'm a
Yeah.
giant. Motherfuckers constantly fucking paper cutting at my ankles, bro. My knees,
Right.
shots in the dark, railroading me from job opportunities, trying to derail my son's entire future.
Yeah.
My son got NBA potential, and dudes was trying to take that because they couldn't control me as a man. Now
Right.
think about that. So, go ahead.
No, because you never asked for permission. That's what we talked about before. You never asked for permission. And most people think they want to be part of you. They want to, when you do become successful, they want to say, look what I've done to get him or her to that position. But when you come, because that's why your podcast called Concrete Genius. You come hard, and everybody can't come hard and understand. And some people, and then we black men, you understand? We black men, we already up against the odds. So we saying, guess what? We concrete. We hard enough to understand that, listen, we're not going to bow. We're not going to ask for permission. We're going to do what we do. Matter of fact, we so concrete, because if you look at concrete, sometimes flowers grow or plants grow out of concrete. So we hard enough to know that we would not fall, but we soft enough to know we're gonna let people grow in our life. Boy, that'll preach, man. That'll preach.
Hey, bro, I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna tell you, hey, you know me, I'm a smart nigga, I'm slick, right? So when I find people I feel like smart, I shut the fuck up, right? See, that shit had me doing karate with the 5%ers in the joint, bro. Like, because when you show me the light and you show me the path and you show me like they resistance to my power ain't that my fault. Like once I learned that from like my mama and grandma, like, no, your light is gonna bother people whether you humble or not. So put the pedal to the metal. You know what I mean?
Because what you're gonna do is you're gonna lose yourself. If you don't do it, you're gonna lose yourself. And then because people only sometimes look at you as what they benefit them. They're not gonna celebrate you. They're not gonna. That's even in this business I'm in, being in the comedy business. I tell people all the time, listen, when people's like, you just blowing up, I said, nah, I've been doing this for 20 years. 20 years I've been doing comedy. So if you seeing the success right now, it's because I didn't lost more money than I gained in comedy. But guess what? I gained peace more than anything, bro. Anything.
Amen. So look, let me ask you this. Before I go to the background, let's talk futuristic. Like, I'm so excited about Atlanta for you because I used to live in Atlanta. I got thousands of friends in Atlanta. I just actually signed an artist that's gonna start a podcast, amazing young lady. She lives in Atlanta. So like the Atlanta support is gonna be beautiful. My IT people in Atlanta, so I probably could get you more support in Atlanta than
Hey,
10 times more.
I need it. I'm not gonna say no.
Right.
All the support.
Yeah. Everybody I know in Atlanta gonna know you. That's why I be like, when you go to a city, if you don't notice, I would be like, St. Louis, tap in.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Or even if it's just one person, who is
That's
this
it.
dude? And then that one person knows who you are. You know what I'm saying? But what's coming forth in Atlanta, because I know it's booming from a creative standpoint, especially with Tyler Perry there, and it's always important people that can make moves in restaurants and shows, and so you really gonna have millions and millions more eyes on your opportunity to crack. What do you have for coming for you in Atlanta?
So I'm gonna start like first I'm gonna do when I get down there, probably October, November. I'm gonna do a welcome to Atlanta. I'm gonna do a for show is in Atlanta, so I'm gonna do a show down there. But really, what I'm gonna do is my whole goal is to bring uh, clean comedy down there. There's really no clean comedy platform down there, so I won't be. I want to. The whole goal is and down in Atlanta is so the whole family can come out and enjoy comedy. And I'm gonna be bringing comedians from all over the nation to come down to Atlanta so we can just celebrate the whole family. And so I got a couple places already that I'm in talks with. Also added that I took acting classes, so I'll be getting into some movies. I'll
It's
be doing some,
amazing.
short films. Just really just I don't want to be boxed into just a comedian. I also do motivational speaking called Jump Scared. And so all that'll be a part of what I'm doing because I'm expanding who for show is other than a comedian. He's way more than that. And so now I got the opportunity to go down here, um, uh, finally live, and I'm living for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be selfish. That's the
Yes,
whole
sir.
goal. Atlanta,
Hey, we
Atlanta.
deserve it. We earned it, black man.
Man, black man, we did. You did. My children are grown. You done raised children. I done been through two relationships that salute to them. It just didn't work out. But I'm in a place in my life where it's just now I'm just thinking about what legacy and I can leave for my children. And I got a grandchild, got two grandchildren, so I got to make sure I pave the way for them. And that's what I'm doing down in Atlanta. And the goal to be down in Atlanta, to be honest, is only be there 3 to 5 years. My goal is to be no more than 5 years down in Atlanta, and then I take my talents I want to either L.A. or either Houston, but most likely L.A. so I can have residence in Atlanta and also in L.A. because I'm and then bring all of it back so I can give people like me that didn't have an opportunity in Indiana bring back a solution, bringing back a platform for people here so they won't have to take the same road that I took.
Amazing. A lot of thoughts to that. First thought is I want to remind myself, even live while we're doing this, I got friends in Atlanta. I know a lot of them heavily involved in the church. You know what I mean?
Right.
I think even some pastoral. So if they see this, you get down there, I want to make sure that I kind of network that. Like me, I'm going to give you the number and get out. Hey, this my man. This my man. Y'all know how I rock. I'm not one of them. Every time you need to call, hey, let me see if he bit. I don't play like that.
I'm
I
like
ain't
that.
shortstop, man. I'm not Shawan Dunston, man. You know what I mean? Like, I don't, so that when the Atlanta thing, and then I just think you're acting, and then Atlanta is such a city where the black culture it leads the way. So if once that culture realizes what you is, that'll dictate to the rest of the black culture around the country. And that's what people don't understand about Atlanta.
Because what's happened is this is the thing. So let me give you an example. Like the East Coast is its own. The East Coast is its own world. Like you can make if you can make it on the East Coast, that's its own world. But like say for instance, the South and the West Coast, you tell them you doing something, they like let's go. If you tell the Midwest the same thing, they like let's see. So that's the problem
Great
with the
point.
Midwest.
That's
I love my
amazing.
Midwest, but our Midwest, we're gonna wait. We're gonna wait till it's popular to rock with you. When it's everybody's rocking with you, everybody now want to rock with you. Where I already talked to people in Atlanta, they like, bro, you come down here, we already got things set up for you. I was on a webinar and from Atlanta, and they was like a webinar on once you get down here, let me give you the tools that you need to be successful in the entertainment business when you get down here. When I was on the West Coast, they was like, man, you can stay in my basement. And listen, we're gonna make sure you make it. But when I come back to
Right.
the Midwest is like, whoa, let's see. Like for instance, my farewell show should have been sold out. My
Yeah.
farewell show should have been sold out. But I understand the
Easily.
nature of the beast. because they're gonna recognize, and they're gonna the people that's not gonna be there. It's not, it don't supposed to be there. It's divine. But I understand where you.
So, hey man, at the end of the day, because what happens is everybody's gonna come back around and like once the nation respected, they're gonna be like, hey man, remember, and that's fine because sometimes you have to paint the picture of your future for people because they can't conceive it. And that's
Right.
fine too. Like I used to deal with that, but at the end of the day, my goals are not in opposition to what you don't believe in you can do. Just
Right.
support me or yeah, like I'm not a threat to you. So let me ask you something, bro. Let me tell the world, right? How did we first meet? I want you to tell that story how you met me.
Bro, so I got your number, bro, from somebody I heard about the chosen one, aka, well, I say JJ, aka the chosen one. We was on the phone. I never forget, man, where I was staying at, and they told me to give you a call because for George Hill G3, I was kind of like the recruiter, you could say. And we on the phone, and you like, bro, man, my son putting up numbers, man. He's scoring out. He putting up 25 points, woo, woo, woo. And then I said, where at, bro? He was like, the Y, the one on second. I said, the one on 71st and what was that? Zionsville. I said,
Zionsville.
I said, the Y? I said, bro, bring him over to G3. And I never forget the conversation afterwards because you brought him over there. It was on 42nd and Franklin. I think that's where we went. You remember the school?
Yes, sir. The
The lighthouse.
dojo.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep,
So
yep, yep.
yeah, and we went and we was doing training and everything. And I never forget the chosen one. I never forget he was going down the court like, and then another kid just came behind him and just took the ball from him, and they was trapping and they doing all. He was like, "Bro, this is different," but that prepared him. That prepared him. Like that, I told you, man. Everybody's good in their own neighborhood, but
Yeah.
what it did is, because your son, he's aggressive. Like I always call your son a quiet assassin. Your son, the chosen one, is a quiet assassin. You'll look at him, he ain't gonna talk crazy to you or nothing like that. But when you look at the stat sheet, this boy got 18 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, and 4 blocks. That's
Mm,
Scottie Pippen. Scottie Pippen all day.
mm,
But then he'll be, and then
mm,
afterwards, he like, yes, sir, no, sir. He was one of the most coachable
mm,
kids I have ever met. And that's what people don't
mm.
understand, that because of who he is, man, you already know I rock with y'all, man. I'm like, man, listen, when he make it to the league, I just need a couple of tickets just every now and then. Cause he's going, bro. He's going, man.
Nah,
Cause let
nah,
me
dead
tell you,
ass, bro.
so
Go ahead.
listen, let me tell you this so people can see that we said it on this. People gonna ask why, because he at Weber State, right?
Yes,
He's at
sir.
Weber. So at Weber State, people when he in the league, he pretty much gonna be the freshman of the year. But then people gonna ask, how did Weber State get this kid? How did he get slept on? Like, watch, we had this conversation today, and you're gonna be able to share this, what I'm talking about. People gonna ask, how did Weber? So guess what's gonna happen? People gonna try to steal him from Weber State. Big boys. Watch what I tell you. We
We
can't
ain't
have
going
no.
nowhere. We
I
locked
know,
in.
but I'm
Yeah,
just saying. But
yeah,
remember, we had this
yeah,
conversation.
yeah, yeah,
Just
yeah.
remember.
And all because they let somebody who couldn't control me shape their opinion of me. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And what's crazy is, look, listen, bro. And I don't want to get off top, but the same thing you said all relates to what you said. Dudes out west was like, yo, man, this nigga's a pro, dog. You know what I mean? Since seventh grade, calling me, you can get a job. Man, they've been inviting camps, JJ, since sixth grade, bro. We ain't paid for tournaments. I could have coached schools in Texas,
Yep.
Georgia, Under Armour, and a couple of other big programs was like, look, we can't do nothing there, bro. That's the mafia. But if you move here, you'll have a program and a high school job. And
Right.
I still, for the stability of my son and my family, I said, nah, we gonna overcome this because it's talent and my determination. We gonna find a way. Now
Right.
that last year I still had to go because I want to know as my friend, bro, on air, with as good as coach as I was and as honorable as you say my kid was, I am. Why did people purposely make it so hard for me?
Because bro, you're unapologetic, bro. You don't apologize for you like the Suge Knight of you the Suge Knight of coaching. I seen you coach. You going back and forth, walking. I don't know if you had a do rag. You don't know if you had a rag in your pocket or whatever. But bro, you know what I'm saying? You walking up and down, and you look at man. You gotta stare out of this world. You looking at them referees like that's some BS. You just don't like me. So you unapologetic, bro. So you understand.
Yeah.
You're not made for the Midwest, not in Indiana, because bros, when they can't control you, they can't control you. They try to choke you. Feel what I'm saying? If they can't control you, they'll try to choke you, and they'll try to choke you with the ability to be able to succeed. That's the kind of nature we in, man. They can't control you. They'll try to choke you. And that's what we in. And so when you look at them things, man, because it's all, everything we talking about, bro, it's all full circle. Like even talking about your son, this is part of the podcast. This is supposed to be part of it because it's going to all come wrap around to making sense of what we're talking about. Because even with me, jokers here didn't think that they thought they could control me because I was very passive. I was very, you know what I mean? I was a yes man, but I'm no longer that. I don't give a damn who you are. No one's going to control for sure. Same thing with you. No one's going to control you. So when no one can control you, they figure if they can step on you, well, what you do? Y'all don't want my talents. I'm taking my son to Cali, and I'm going to show you what he can do. I'm going to show you what everything that he does. Because as a father, it's my responsibility to put my son or my daughter in the right position so they can be successful. If that's not here, I'm going to take him somewhere where he's loved, and they're going to show him, give him the skills, and now he got a full ride to go to Weber State. You did your job.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
You ain't got to pay for no college or anything. That's a $500,000
and they sent him a nice little check.
Contract. Yeah, that's a $500,000 contract.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And so I appreciate it. And I was because I was like, it's so hard here because it's like, I think I confuse people because they see the temper. Obviously, I'm 6'5". Right. I got facial hair and shit. And then, but I also have a brain. So even if I'm cursing, I have a master of, my vocabulary. And then my kids were all dominant. Like, you talking to somebody like youth league, bro. Like, I went 119 and 7 in 4 years. Like, I was wiping out karma. So, I'm thinking at a school like Pike is black. I done developed all these kids, and I ain't gonna name them. How do you not integrate me with such a powerful man in the community? But it was just like, all right, nigga, we got it from here. You know what I'm saying? Like, we gonna do what we want with your child. That's the opposite of being successful because we know what's best. And I'm like, you shitting me.
No, you don't know what's best. You don't. Like people don't really know your story. The thing that you had to deal with your wife, and they don't know your struggle, bro. They just see the person that's joking and on the book or giving stats on the book, but they don't see the behind the scenes. And see, when you know somebody from behind the scenes, because see, you are who you are because of who the powerful people that you got behind you. You know what I'm saying? So
I appreciate that.
Yeah, people don't know. People don't know that you're a loving husband. People don't know you're a family man. They just see this dude being brass, this dude being. Well, listen, you gotta be. Yeah. If you don't brag on yourself, who will? Because trust me, when people say, "Well, everybody else talk about you," please, no, brag on yourself,
right?
Please,
right.
Brag on your children. Brag on your
hey
man,
you.
Please.
Hey, you know you a fly nigga when people start telling you to humble yourself. Man, shut the fuck up, bro.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But this is the thing though, bro. They be talking about false humble. Like you work for it. Like we talking about arrogant. Right. People arrogant is when they ain't done nothing. You done something. You can listen.
And then as a footnote to
go ahead.
Go ahead.
No,
go ahead,
but that's what I'm saying. I tell people I am funny. That ain't no question about it. I ain't gonna be like,
All
oh,
right.
like, please. Nigga, I work for this. I sit
Look,
up at 4 in the morning, writing jokes, trying to get it together. I done bombed plenty of places and had to get right back up and say, listen, on to the next one. So I'm funny.
look, you the only nigga I know, even when you was mentally going through it, you was still funny as hell. You know what I'm saying? Like, even in your worst of times, you had a smile and a joke for those. So people don't understand that's a flame that can never be put out. Ever.
Right,
You know what I'm
right.
saying?
Never. And so yeah, but once again, it's a reason why you named it Concrete Genius.
And what people don't understand, even without going my previous life, just in sixth grade, what you're speaking on, like people don't understand, like in a 6 month span, I lost my brother, who had been retired, decorated Navy man, cancer. I lost another brother to police violence. I lost my sister on Christmas, and I lost my dad on the anniversary of my mom's birthday. In 6 months, I'm still coaching. Then after that, about a year later, I'm coaching. I'm still going through negativity. People taking shots, stealing my players. Ninth grade, my wife battled cancer.
Right,
So like that's the only reason I stopped coaching, to be a husband and be a family man, to make sure to structure my family, because at the end of the day, basketball was secondary to the health of my wife. You know what I mean? So
right,
I that's why I stepped away, and people still don't know, they still was taking shots, still trying to block my son from exercising just his God's given talent. I didn't want nothing free. I'm
right,
from Gary, Indiana. Wrong with you give me nothing I can't earn or I'm
right,
not worth. But when you take away opportunities for incompetent people, that's the side of Indiana I didn't meet until I got into basketball. Even coming from the streets, you got to think. The first dude I met was you. So
yeah,
I'm like, okay, I can do this. These is niggas. Like, these ain't
right,
cornballs. And yeah, like, so I'm thinking, I'm in George Hill, so it's still me, you, Mike, Tice,
right,
the
right.
niggas. You know what I mean?
Man,
What's the name? Big Baby Dad. It's brothers in there. So it's like, but once I stepped off on my own and I jumped in that, how you dump them little balls as a kid, the little pool full of balls, the little others and raw, little kids diving in them kiddie pools for little mini plastic balls. That's how I was diving in the basketball with these corny niggas. You know what I'm saying? It was exactly like that, because it was just everywhere around me. And it's like, you ain't this and you ain't. And then I'm like, oh, okay. It's because I can coach. I'm smart. My son's 6'5". And niggas don't know. Bro, I did a nice amount of time in prison. I didn't make excuses. I got an apartment. I got my kids together. I got a home. I got married. I didn't wait on nobody. So I earned a right to talk my shit, because y'all steadily tried to pull me to the ground. And God wouldn't let me fall. So you going to know why I'm here.
right, man. And that's the thing in this comedy game, man. It's like, I got a lot of cats on, around the scene, the naysayers, like, he ain't that funny, he ain't this, and he ain't that, and that's fine. But I tell people all the time, man, I ain't trying to be the funniest. But I tell you what, you ain't gonna outwork me. You're not gonna outwork me.
So
I stay
so
booked.
let me ask you, fam. Where are you originally from, born and raised?
So I was born in Chicago, but I only
Mm-hmm.
my mama moved me there from 2 years old. So then I was raised in Flint, Michigan. I was there until I was 14, 13, 14. I had to move away from there because at the time, rest my uncle's soul, but he was the biggest dope dealer in the city of Flint, John Wesley Hardy. And I wanted to be just like him. And so, hey, my eighth grade year, I was flunking school, and I was like, I probably won't make it to high school, so I'm just gonna sell dope. I was gonna take on what he was doing, because he was living he moved to Atlanta and was still doing his operation in Flint. So I was gonna be like that. We happened to come to a funeral in February of 1989 here in Indianapolis, because I always have family in Indianapolis. Come to a funeral, and after that funeral, my mom said, "We moving." March 26, 1989, I moved here to Indianapolis, and it was one of the greatest things that ever happened to me, because I wouldn't be where I'm at now, man. I wouldn't be where I'm at now because my mom raised four boys by herself. Like I didn't. So when you talk about I moved here with one pair of pants and one shirt. No lie. I'd have been through the grind. I'd have been through a lot of stuff. And so understand, that's why I tell people, I came from nothing, and to get to a place where I'm making $200,000 a year, I thought I had it made. But I knew if they paying me $200,000 a year, how much am I making them? So I said, you know what? With the help of God, I said, God told me, just resign from your job. And man, when I tell you this journey that I've been on, it's been so beautiful. But it started from Chicago, started from Flint, started from having nothing, and now I'm building my own empire, man. That's all I'm doing.
So,
Just building my own empire.
so let me ask you, family, when was the first time that you displayed your comedy in public for an audience that you weren't familiar with? Do you remember where it was and when?
Oh man, I'll probably say, man, my mother used to do Black History plays. So I probably was like 10 years old. She had me play a clown. And it's a famous, and that's crazy because I ain't even thought about that. That's a great question. I played a clown. Langston Hughes got a poem about a clown, and I walk in. I got my clown suit on, and I'm walking, and I'm like saying the poet, and then I end up saying, "Don't look at me as a clown, but look at me as a man." And that probably was like 10 years old, bro. That's a great question, man. I didn't even thought about that. That's a great question.
Well, yeah, I mean, because I'm fascinated by it because people don't understand what stage presence is. Like, it takes a lot of courageousness. And most people, I feel like, as adults that even take chances, have at some time. And like, because I would always be the guy, they'd be like, who want to come up here and break dance? I'd be 7 going in front of the whole school, even if I couldn't do it good. I knew I had more courage than all y'all because y'all was scared to ever do it. So, like, I knew it was always a point that sparks that to be able to say, you know what? Because your stage presence, even when you first started the pictures, it was just a matter of time because you commanded the stage. You know what I mean?
Right.
You always had such a commanding, just warrior comrade presence. You know what I mean on the stage. So, what made you, as far as decide to do clean comedy?
Well, I grew up in church, so faith based. I grew up in church. I grew up off of Sinbad, Jonathan Slocum. I had this dude named Roger Bryce. A lot of that. So I seen like the Def Comedy Jam and all like that. So I knew, man, just even my conversation, like because I was so religious, you know, um, I just said, let me do this, and then just for the respect of my mom, I wanted to be able to do shows where she could come to. So that's when I started doing clean.
Yeah, yeah. And then so I think that's honorable because it's really courageous. It shows the depth of like everything you have in you. You know what I'm saying? It shows the depth of who you are as a comedian. It shows the depth of who, like, what you say. It shows that you don't have to curse to be funny. Now, people that curse, that's cool.
And nothing wrong with
Because we all grew up on the Richard Pryors and the Eddie Murphys. Yeah, like we all have that. But for you to be able to say, I'm going to make a room full of people laugh and not use no profanity is brilliant because it gives you so many lanes.
And I rock, listen, man, I rock. That's the funny thing is, what's crazy is, only thing I tell when a MC or host, when they introduce me, don't introduce me as a clean comedian. Just introduce me as for show. I rock clubs. I done Bentley. I done any hood club you can think about, ODE or Mimi's or whatever you want to call it. She changed her name like every other week, but that's a whole nother subject. And so what I'm saying is, I rock any crowd. It don't matter because I know what I got to offer. You gonna laugh. It don't matter because
Yeah.
I'm funny.
And it's going to be so funny, you ain't going to even know that I'm not using profanity.
Right. So one dude, man, from Compton, I was at the North Side Bar or something on like 78, 70 something in Shadeland. The North Side Bar, I was a headliner. Dude was from Compton. This dude was like, he was cussing me. He was using profanity, like, mother blankety blank blank, you are hilarious. I'm from Compton. I've never seen nobody so funny as you. And bro, you didn't even say a curse word. And so he was like, man, you going places. When I went down to Atlanta, I did the Atlanta Uptown Comedy Club. Everybody on that set was cursing. They didn't even know me. And so they was like, well, we're going to have you go second. I went up there and murdered the stage. And they was like, bro, where are you from? I said, don't worry, I'll be down here. I'm coming. you know.
Hey,
And so
hey, so tell people, because we mentioned it privately. What is it like the first time you perform? Let's say, New York. Let's say a major hub on the East Coast. What does it feel like looking at them eyes? Like, cause them dudes is so judgmental, bro. They ready to tell you to get the fuck out of here.
right. Bro, so I did a show in Philly. I auditioned in 2018 for the Apollo. But let me go to Philly. Philly, this was a clean show, man. But them people, I felt like they was booing other comedians. They weren't even laughing at them. I looked out, and I was like, whoa. So I was like, you know what? I'm about to go to the next level. And like that's what people don't understand about Bernie Mac. If people understand the history of Bernie Mac coming from Chicago, when he was on Def Comedy Jam, that's why he came up with the famous saying, "I ain't scared of you." You know what? Because
Yeah,
when he
yeah,
went to New York, when he seen them jokers and how they was looking at him, he wanted to let them know, I worked too hard for this. I'm from Chi, so let me show you what I can do.
yeah.
So I did the same thing when I went to Philly, even when I went to Harlem. I said, man, I ain't come this far not to be funny. And so
Right,
when the Philly and the Harlem crowd, when they stamped me, I was like, yeah. I don't care what nobody else said. I know Philly and Philly and Harlem know I'm funny. So everybody else,
right.
whatever you got to say, it don't
They
even
gonna
mean.
follow along. Yeah, yeah.
When they step to approval,
That's the mecca of black criticism, bro. Like
bro.
the first time I went to Harlem, dog, dead ass, man. Like I was walking through there, I had on a fit, and the nigga was like, "Your fit hard, big dog, but that hat don't match." And I was like, "Yo, what
They don't play, bro. They
the?" They
don't play.
don't. So how's your West Coast imprint looking? Have you done? Tell us about what you've done out west, because a lot of people are watching in Vegas.
Yeah, so I did Vegas. So I'll be back out in Vegas in April. So I did some shows in Vegas, which was pretty cool. Vegas know me. San Francisco, Palmdale, LA area know who I am. So I'm my whole goal is probably and hopefully next year I want to spend 6 to 8 weeks out there, just out there,
Hmm.
just hitting every city.
Yeah, yeah,
And then you know what I mean. So
yeah.
they know who I am. The word didn't get out, and so even
Yes,
with
sir.
Vegas, I'll be in Vegas. I think April 23rd. I'll be in next year. So anybody in Vegas, just keep following me. If you want to follow me, FOSHO413. You can follow me. I'll be back in Vegas in April, and so my print is great out there, man. And so they ready for me to come out there. But I'm gonna probably go out there next year. I'm gonna try to go for about 2 months out there and just hit the
So
same.
sometime in March, depending on Weber State being in the tournament, how they go. But even if it's in April, I'm gonna have my birthday party in Vegas. I'm gonna be 50 next year, so it's gonna be in Vegas. And so, like, I'm gonna have you there. I'm gonna have you. My birthday is March
When
22nd.
I'm there, bro. I'm there.
Yeah,
I'm about to
yeah.
put it on my calendar right now. I'm there.
The
Calendar.
only reason it might be pending, the only reason it may move is if my boy get hot and they can get to the Sweet 16 or something,
Oh
and
yeah,
then obviously,
I got you.
you know what I'm saying. But nah, I want people to know, like, and how hard is it? Like, if anybody's a young aspiring comedian and they feeling low, but they got that same spirit as you do, what advice would you give them about the craft and how much work it takes, and what do you need to be great and to be known on a national footprint?
First of all, you can't be scared to fail. Cannot be scared to fail. Another thing about comedy, listen, everybody's not gonna think you funny. You just find your lane and you roll with your lane. Everybody's not gonna congratulate you. So what it is you I tell anybody, the whole goal of my younger comedians, the whole goal is I'm just telling my story. Like if you grew up in church, you told testimony. When we used to get up and testify about the goodness of the Lord. But guess what? All I'm doing now is I'm just telling you my story, where I come from, who I am. That's what Kevin Hart is successful, is because he tells his story. He makes fun of himself. So any comedian, don't try to be like no other comedian. Just tell your story. If you grew up in the hood, tell your story how you grew up in the hood. If you grew up with your mama and not your daddy, tell how that felt. Introduce us to your mama. Introduce us to your daddy. Introduce us to your life. Because all I'm doing is, when I get on stage, I'm just having a conversation and I'm introducing my audience to Donald for Show Martin.
That's amazing. That's motivating.
Yeah.
That's motivating.
I love it, man. I get to travel
Yeah.
around. I get to travel around the United States of America telling my story. Ooh. And you know what?
I think when dudes come from dark places, see dark things young, it make them want to touch the moon.
Man, and we can do it, bro. We are unstoppable. We actually are. We actually are unstoppable. And see, once we get to beside, listen, man, it don't give a damn about your color. Listen, you unstoppable, especially in the day and age that we live in now. Think about it. You got your own podcast. In the 50s and the 60s, you had to go underground to do your podcast. Now you got all people all over the world. You got people all over the world watching you. You got somebody probably in China gonna watch this. You don't know.
Yes,
but guess what? Somebody now you global. You ain't just from GI. You from GI, but you global.
Yes, sir.
So when you global, you have a global mentality, because it's 7.5 billion people on this earth. And if it's 7.5 billion people on this earth, I only need 0.00001% of people to like what I do. And I believe that's about 75,000 people to like what I do. And it ain't too many people got 75,000 people liking what they do unless you're a major star. And, you know, I take that.
Hey, I've been in the Bible, bro, but you've been in the math books, bro. You even with the one pair of jeans, bro. You know how to put the numbers on paper. You fucked me up for a minute now, for sure. I had to dust off the abacus on your ass.
Right. And I had them MC Hammer pants. You know, them MC Hammer blow out blue pants. So I couldn't even hide that, man. I couldn't even hide that.
And people don't understand, and for people don't know, this is a fellow brother over 6 feet tall, dark-skinned brother. So people don't understand what it's like to fucking flood as a tall, dark-skinned kid, bro, have your pants not fit right.
Because what happened is, then during the summertime, your mama would cut the jeans off. Cut them off. Now you had jean shorts on with the little strings on them. Now you look at it. That's what
the shingles.
Now they be talking about them coochie. They be talking about them coochie shorts. Nigga, we had coochie shorts at 14.
Hey, look. I tell my mama, man, I can't be Jerry Rice in these fucking shorts I'm not wearing.
Oh my God.
Hey, listen, man. Hey, listen. I want to make sure they know. Let's talk. Let's announce. Tell me the farewell show again. Give them your all your socials. And I'm not done, but make sure drop the farewell show and all your socials for me right quick.
All right, so you can follow me on my page. On my Facebook page is Delivering the Funny. Delivering the Funny. You can follow me on my Facebook page. Then you can follow me on Instagram. It's for show FOSHO 413. You can follow me on TikTok. It's for show 7575. And then the farewell show is August 21st. Get your tickets. August 21st, 2022 at 5 p.m. Its doors open. It's at Martin University on 2186 Sherman Drive in Indianapolis, Indiana. If you want to cash at me and want to be a blessing, you can cash at me at okay. All right. Thank you. So you can cash at me at for show, FOSHO. You can Zelle me at 317-701-5278. Bro, I'm gonna have to wrap up in a minute, man. I've rented out for a minute, so you know.
No, you good. Let's close it down, man. We can get back on here in a couple of weeks. I appreciate you taking the time.
Yeah.
45 minutes. I know how the schedule go. God bless you for your time. We'll tap in a couple of weeks. We'll see you soon.
Man, you better get your tickets, bro. I'm not playing with you. You don't come to my show, man. I'm acting like I don't know you.
Listen. And the only reason I got it, but the only reason I might not come is I got to figure out either that weekend or the other weekend I got to be out there for the purple and white shit. That's
Okay.
the only reason I'm trying
Yeah.
to see. Yeah, that would be the only reason. You know what I'm saying? And like, we need to talk soon because I got some stuff.
Yeah.
Sponsorships with some clubs out east, and we
We're
gonna
gonna make
make
it
all
up.
that rock, bro. Tap in at least every 2 weeks. I love you, my brother.
Love you too, bro. Thank you for the opportunity, man.
All right, peace. Yeah, yeah.